you. I hate standing at this podium lately. Unfortunately, we're here, the good prosecutor, Karen McDonald, and I, tag teaming yet again on another terrible, terrible case. So I'll give you a little bit of the background, and then our prosecutor will speak to the charges that have already been issued. So the baseline is this. On August 7th, we received information concerning potential criminal activities of a physician, Dr. Omer Ajaz. Omer Ajaz, I believe is the pronunciation. 37-year-old Rochester Hills resident who's married and is the father of two young boys. The allegations were that he was engaged in activity, including but not limited to placing hidden cameras in changing rooms, video recording young children as young as 2 years of age, and all the way up to grown adults in different settings. The current criminal charges, which the prosecutor will speak to, are primarily from activities conducted in Rochester and Rochester Hills when he was off duty, where he appears to utilize cameras that were deployed separate from himself and then also on his person. They were used in changing rooms, bathrooms, hospital rooms, as well as inside closets, bathrooms, and bedrooms of residents that he had access to. We believe the criminal activity has been going back at least 6 years, but this is, and I can't stress this enough, so much the tip of the iceberg. He was arrested on August 8th by our detectives as they were served a search warrant, and again, formally charged by the prosecutor, which she'll speak to those charges. He's currently in our jail at $2 million cash bond, no 10%. So the background on this individual is he's an Indian citizen, has been working in the U.S. on a visa, came to the United States about 2011 for his internship in Michigan. He moved to Dawson, Alabama, around 2018 and returned to Oakland County to continue his practice here. So this may stretch not just in Michigan, but to other states and potentially even other countries. He has worked at Ascension Genesis Hospital in Grand Blanc and Henry Ford Macomb Hospital in Clinton Township, but we're still trying to determine where else he may have worked. He was apparently an individual, a contracted physician that went 2 different locations for a company rather than having his own specific practice. So we still don't know the scope of how many facilities or venues he may have visited in that regard. It's obviously, as I said, very active investigation. It's in its infancy. We've already done a great number of search warrants. We've confiscated at this point 6 computers, 4 cellular phones, 15 external storage devices, and just one of the hard drives has 13,000 videos. So each one of them will have to be gone through to determine if there's criminality or potential criminality in those videos. And then the prosecutor ultimately will determine if there is the charges from those. This could take as long as 6 months just to get through what we already have. So our computer crimes unit is deeply engaged in this and has put tons of hours into this already. And the other potential is there also might be cloud storage. So we're trying to run that down, which obviously would add the potential for more. Due to the lengthy time that he's been involved in this activity and the large amounts of storage that we have in our possession, we believe there's obviously a lot more to be uncovered. So we're seeking to identify more victims, and we set up a special email for anybody that believes that they are a victim of this activity to email and communicate directly with our investigators. We'll be displaying that, but I will read it to you. It is OCSO, like our initials, SIU, which is our Special Investigation Unit, OCSO, SIU at oakgov.com. We'll put that up on the screen. If you believe you've been a victim or have information about this individual or this person's activities, please send us anything that you have or any questions or concerns you have. We believe he did his residency at Sinai Grace, and as I said, then went to Alabama, and has been involved in a lot of different scenarios. So, as we look at this, and I've been involved in sexual predator criminal investigations for a long time. I've been in law enforcement 37 years. And in my early part of my career, I did a number of investigations of sexual predators. And then in a moment in between that career, I was a senator and I wrote the Sex Offender Registry Act. And so I went deep down the rabbit hole of profiling sexual offenders to determine how they operated and how we could best protect the public from them. This individual potentially is one of the worst I've ever seen, because there's no particular category. It's not just children. It's not just women. It's not just men. It goes from a 2-year-old to a grown woman. And so the victimization is so broad and the perversion so great that we're just beginning to wrap our arms around it. And disturbing on so many levels that it's hard to look at the videos of that